All right. So we'll stop the meeting.
All right. All I got to do is call mine to order and do the roll call because we've already had a great prayer and we've already delivered our pledge. So I'd like to, at this time, call this special call meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for the City of Natchez to order. And I'd like the clerk to administer the roll call.
Alderwoman Hall.
Here.
Alderman Frazier.
Here.
Alderwoman Smith. Here. Alderwoman Irvin.
Here.
Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman President.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. All right, now I need a motion to approve our dockets. They're properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Could there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. So, I guess now we'll start with our joint meeting. We can start our discussion about the pool. We have, Mayor, how do we want to proceed? Attorney, how do we want to proceed? Okay.
You want to open the floor to the mayor, let him
Yes, I will open the floor to the mayor.
discuss his proposal.
I just want to thank you for this meeting and thank everyone. It's just a pleasure to be here. And it's nice to be over on this side of the street for a change. I told Corvette, sometimes it's nice to get out of City Hall. Also, I do want to say it's great that we have a community that cares about our children. And I am very grateful for the relationship we have, the city and the county working together. We've been working together a while now on some really good things. And the pool is a beautiful thing. And, I can't take any credit for that pool. It's the prior administration, prior mayors, supervisors, you saw that vision, and it is really beautiful to go out and see it. If anyone has not visited the pool, you are missing out. It's a beautiful facility. I was able to go out this morning, and so just a surprise visit. No one knew I was coming, but it was a real pleasure to see Mr. Ralph Daniels, who's doing an excellent job there. The pool looked great. He explained to me that the water was a little cloudy because he's holding back, saving chemicals. He'll do the final treatment this week, I understand, because the pool opened Saturday. And I appreciate the fact that he's wise. He has a lot of years of experience in managing pool, shall we say, water. I think 44 million a day, 4 million gallons a day at IP back in the day. That was over 20 years, he tells me. I want to thank everyone who's worked over the years to make that happen. The board, the commissioners. I want to thank the employees, all of the passion, the dedication, and it's all for the children, for our families to have a safe place. We obviously did hit a bit of a bump in the road, you might say, just a few months ago when it came to our attention that the board that had been appointed, some by the city, some by the county, to be in an advisory capacity over the pool and over the soccer field, had been unable to meet, and to my knowledge, still have not met in some time. And so without an advisory board there, it appears that the advisory matters really now fall directly on the city and on the county. We had put out a proposal a few weeks ago, but that proposal is going to have to change. Some of you may have read it in the paper today. The one just came out, Miss Sonora Cole. I want to just say for a moment, Miss Sonora Cole deserves a lot of praise for what she has done for the city of Natchez. She became our city's director of Parks and Recreation now, a year and a half to 2 years ago, I guess, we lose count. During that time, she has seen the renovation of playgrounds in all of our city parks. She has seen to the renovation of the North Natchez Youth Center that's about to be complete. We're excited. She has seen the inauguration of so many events, from the father-daughter dance to the movie nights and even some more great events to come. The Easter egg hunts, there's just so many. She saw to the renovation of bathrooms, and even now, the city, the county, we're working so hard together. I commend what you're doing with Chester Willis. It's just phenomenal what that facility is going to end up being. Even though I know, just like us, you're having some challenges, we're now working on the baseball fields at Duncan Park, and we're excited about that. But all that said, I have to sing her praises because she's not going to be here very much longer for me to sing praises to, because Sonora has gotten a great opportunity. And I tried my best to talk her into staying, but she is from Baton Rouge, and she has a dear friend who she worked with for the city of Baton Rouge back in the day in recreation, who's now over recreation for Southern University. And she's, I believe, a product of Southern University. She has had an opportunity now to go to work alongside him in recreation there in Baton Rouge, where her family is. So we wish Ms. Cole a lot of success. So Ms. Cole is no longer in the cards to be a supervisor or to get her license, as we had said, to help operate the pool, her certification. And the city, we will have discussion on that tomorrow evening at our board meeting. We do have an assistant director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Ryan Porter. But the mayor and board of Aldermen have to meet tomorrow, and tomorrow evening I'm sure we will discuss, where to go with regard to that position. So in the meantime, this is what we'd like to propose. Being that the county currently employs, to our knowledge, employees that are doing a good job at the pool, we just say, hey, let's just keep the pool going. We've got staff who are running it, and any advisory duties, any advisory decisions, if those decisions need to be made, I'm sure between the city and the county working together, we can make them. If our advisory board is not able to meet any longer, we can just say thank you for your service, but we'll just move forward and we'll just make the decisions together. And that's our proposal. And then under that scenario, nothing really would change. Y'all just continue sending us the bills, and we'll continue paying our half, and let the pool continue being operated as it is now, with the exception, we will no longer have an advisory board. We'll just together share in those advisory decisions.
Well, Mayor, I would say, one of the things that we spoke on last Monday in our meeting is the pool is for our community. And that was my main goal, to keep it open for our community. And, things change, and I think that it's been a great asset and it's been growing. And my whole goal is to keep that pool open for Natchez and Adams County. But I'm going to open the floor up to my board, because before we got there, the pool, the previous mayor, the previous board had a little more information. So at this point, I'm going to open the floor up to any of my board members if you would like to speak on something other than that.
Mr. President, I did leave out one detail. We do, in terms of insurance liability and safety, we do want to make sure that any employee that oversees the pool will be willing to be licensed and certified, and I think that's very important going forward.
And,
Mr. President,
yes, sir.
I'm just going to give you my history of the swimming pool, and Supervisor Lipson, you was here, and Sarah, you was here. If I'm saying something is out of order, stop me and correct me, but the swimming pool started off as a city thing. It wasn't a county thing. And we wanted to get the county involved with the swimming pool. So the county told us the only way they was gonna get involved with the swimming pool if it ran through the YMCA. That's how the county even got involved in the swimming pool. But this always been a city thing. And I think the late Judge Toles and Kevin Preston and Mr. Paradise and all of them got involved. And that's really how the pool really got off the ground, because a lot of people didn't even want the pool, to be honest with you. But we always had pools in this community, and we did get into an interlocal agreement with the Board of Supervisors and the school district and the city about the pool. And I don't think it's, at that time, the city, the school district did have some appointments to the board, but since then, things have changed and the agreement changed, where the only appointments came from the Board of Supervisors and the city. Is that not correct? Okay, we each had 3 apiece. And since then, two of the 3 that we appointed chose not to be involved with the pool anymore, right?
Right, because when the city kind of took over all the parks, you know, one of them being Duncan Park, and the one that I appointed played golf, and then his biggest interest was actually having the golf course taken care of. So he decided if he just gonna be looking over the pool, he wasn't interested.
So let me back up a little bit. So once we got all that together, then the city appointed their director to be over the swimming pool, plus be the recreation director. Is that not correct?
We actually, our director for
If I'm not mistaken, Faye Minor was over the pool when the YMCA left.
oh,
Absolutely.
And once Faye Minor was the was the pool director, for some reason, she became the recreation director for the city of Natchez. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
Okay, she had 2 duties. She had the pool and the Y.
yes, under the prior
Under the
administration
prior
and the
administration.
first, I'd say, year of this administration.
And something happened where,
Until Ms. Cole was hired, yes.
well, that changed from directors, from Ms. Minor to Ms. Cole. And Ms. Cole was never the director over the pool.
That's
Right.
correct. That's
Okay, so the commissioners, one thing you missed, Mayor, the Board of Supervisors don't do no hiring. The commissioners is the one did the hiring. Is that not correct, Scott?
It's supposed to be, it's not actually an advisory board, it's supposed to be an actual commission that has authority, that votes and so forth.
So, well, the commission, I don't want anybody out there thinking that the Board of Supervisors did hiring when the commissioners actually did hiring for the swimming pool. So now we can't get a quorum, we only have 1 commissioner, and we gotta go a different route. And, the city put a proposal in place, but my question about the proposal is this. And Mr. Webb, maybe you can help me with this, because to my knowledge, I thought you came to this board and you hired Miss Sharika Miller, and I want 1 question, what was her title?
Director, but you missed a couple directors. What happened was Michelle Carter Smith, and she couldn't verify, but me and her and Darryl Vanille sitting out in his office, me and her and Faye Minor. That's how we got the city to actually take over the golf course over Duncan Park. And Darryl Vanille is the one who approved that. And that's when she took over. But in between there, we also had Monica, who was the pool director who came from the Y after Alice left. Alice left, then Monica took over. Then Monica left because she got married, moved out of town. Then Faye Smith and Faye Minor took over after that. Then when Faye left this time last year, then we brought on Sharika Miller.
And her title was what?
Director.
Director.
So we have had 4.
So, Mr. Mayor, at this particular time, the discussion is on the table about the agreement that, the city presented to us. And, my only question,
It's great. It ain't on the table right now. No, it's not on the table anymore because they directed, if I'm correct, they directed.
he just changed it though.
So,
I did.
he,
I just said that,
Yeah, he
the
did.
director is no longer going to be with
it's
us.
no longer,
It's told, and I just would, say, work with existing staff.
we gonna work with the existing staff and we gonna have to come back, we working with the existing
I
staff.
heard that.
So it's off, at this point, it's off the table and we're trying to get the pool over for this weekend. And they gonna, well, if I'm correct, man, we're gonna use what we got, our staff is in place right now and gonna keep the pool moving. Right now, open like it is until further notice, until they can, he has an assistant director, is that right?
Well.
That's
it's
here.
Maybe,
She's the director.
No, that's what I'm saying, we don't, he don't have a director right now. And he said we was gonna keep the pool moving right now until he get a director, is that right?
well, our proposal, we were going to have our Parks and Recreation Director, Ms. North.
Yeah, I remember that.
Help oversee things, get licensed, get certified, but now that he's leaving,
Yeah,
we would say let the existing staff do it, but we would want to make sure that, one of them, and I do want to advise if we get into any technical discussion,
okay.
personnel matters, we are very sensitive to have those discussions in executive session, it's just what we do, but I would say any employee that moves forward, to really have the overall oversight needs to be willing to be licensed and certified.
Okay, Mr. President and Mr. Mayor, I understood everything you said, and my conversation is about what you said, that the director was leaving, and you did propose to do just what you said, to this board, to leave it like it is. That's what I heard.
With the exception of the board, because the board can't meet with, they don't have, so we just don't see any reason for the board to continue, but rather just the city and the county will work together to provide any advisory, help as needed. But I do think that one director needs to be identified, and those are personnel matters we may want to discuss in executive session.
Mr. Mayor, we don't have one.
If that's Director Sharika Miller, we understood Mr. Daniels also have been helping run the board.
I got one more question, and I'm gonna be done, y'all. I'm gonna finish my question. Mr. Attorney, can you help me out? Okay, could you explain the agreement with the city and the county dealing with the commissioners, where everybody can get a clear understanding exactly what's going on with that? And I'm gonna be done.
Okay, you're talking about the fact that we have a commission, both governing bodies appoint 3 commissioners apiece. Those 6 commissioners, they're the ones that are supposed to approve expenditures, approve hiring, that kind of thing. And we do run purchasing and payroll through the county currently because it gives us certain safeguards. For instance, you have employees that are particularly trained when it comes to government purchasing and so forth. You got payroll deductions that need to go out, MERS, things of that nature all get covered. Health insurance, they don't have to get their own insurance, kind of thing. And then the county basically runs all their expenditures through their payroll and, through their docketing system and so forth, and then they seek reimbursement back from the city. And that's just how it's been for, since we've done it. So we need a commission. Their job was to approve a budget, send that to both governing bodies. Those governing bodies then approve the budget. The commission approves all expenditures, approves the hiring, the director, that kind of thing. And that's how the ILA is set up. It's the commission for our current ILA needs to be run, needs to be done to make sure it's consistent with what the agreement is. If it's not, that can be problematic.
No, excuse me.
Mr. President, and then we'll get you here, raise your hand.
From my understanding, we had Ms. Minor
was the director of the pool at one time. After a conflict, with the board, with the aldermen and everything, it was going, as y'all know, it's a controversy going back between the board and stuff, the board of aldermen and stuff. So, Miss Hall, Miss Minor, she, was let go. So we didn't have anybody for a while. So from my understanding, the commission was still running the pool, so Sister Ms. Ware and the rest of the people there. So after that was done, the commission had moved for some reason, I don't know why, it came to the board that, we need to hire Miss Cole as the director of the swimming pool. And to be honest, I was like, for what? We already have somebody, we got a commission running the swimming pool. But it came to me, and the mayor brought it to us, and I was totally against it, I'm still against it. But this is what was proposed to me. The commission ran the pool, and I would say, why, just let it stay as it is. But like I said, it's a lot of in-house feuding going on and everything else, so that's why I say, leave it like it is. We have a commission, and what we need to do, if we had two people resign, find somebody else to take their place, and let the commission run the swimming pool as in their grievance. So if I'm correct, attorney, the commission runs the swimming pool, let them do what they supposed to do as a commission.
Well, so that's what the current agreement states, is that the commission would run.
But it's my understanding we should stay with the agreement.
And the problem is the commission meeting, I guess, is what.
Exactly, the commission meeting. But from my understanding, the commission couldn't meet because there was too much micromanagement going on from within the city.
All right, Ms. Hall.
Yes, sir, thank you. I want to remind everybody, the commissioners have not met in over 6 months, I think. They all resigned last summer when the issue of alcohol at the pool came up and the city said no alcohol, we all said no alcohol. That was the issue. We had 3 commissioners, one with soccer acumen, one with pool acumen, and one with the, soccer acumen. We had 3 commissioners on board. We thought they were working well. To this date, and even before they came on board, you all only have 1 volunteer commissioner still present. Ms. Miller and Mr. Daniel have been running the pool, every aspect of it. And I think some of you all have even said what a great job they have been doing. Mr. Daniels has worked at the paper mill, as Mr. Mayo said, doing 44 million gallons of water a day, making sure that was clean water, cleaner than the city of water that we even drink to this day in Natchez. He does the chemicals at the pool. So they have been running the pool. I think, Mr. Gray, what you're thinking, initial proposal that the mayor did say, was before Ms. Cole did resign, that they proposed to all of us that we go along with Ms. Miller and Mr. Daniels as is running the pool. And just as a support or liaison, Ms. Cole would be not directing them, oversighting, just as a liaison to both boards, to your board and to the board Mayor Board of Aldermen. And that's where we are today. So what he's proposing now is that there is no, that Mr. Porter is will be our acting director of Recreation, Parks and Recreation upon Ms. Cole's end of term, which will be the end of this month, beginning June 1. And we would like to continue with the pool, as Mr. Gaines said. It opens up this weekend and allow Ms. Miller and Mr. Daniels to continue in those positions and both boards supervise it. So that is the current proposal.
Ms. Bridgewater.
Yes, and it's Bridgewater, but thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to begin my conversation with public engagement. I have 2 questions. Who's Mr. Porter? Have never heard that name before as an assistant in any position. I just want to say that. Never heard that name before, and I do apologize. But when names are thrown out, that name calling, I have to address that. Never heard that. The other thing that I want to say is public engagement. There are so many members in our community that want to be a part of recreation. They're tired of the feuding, the going back and forth. There are people who want to volunteer. And I think when you have public engagement, it says a lot about the community. It shows unity in the community. It also shows that when we apply for different grants, on those grants you have, what percentage of public involvement do we have? And we can identify that with the amount of boards and people that sit on these boards. This is a public pool, and so we want that public engagement going on from all different sectors of this community. Public, private, youth, and you know, we say we are planning, and I have to say that because this resonates with me often. How is it that we plan for our youth and we won't make them a part of the planning? We need a representative from every school. Our lifeguards come from those schools. They are at this point where their voice needs to be heard, how to move forward, the things that they want to see take place in our community. Our youth should be a part of this. And I want to put emphasis on enforcing or implementing the ILA. If this is what the ILA says, that the commissioners are working to operate that pool on a day-to-day basis, then that's what we should do. Then that is what we should do. And last, I want to say that there had been some micromanagement. You go back and you speak with those representatives, they would even share with you their reason for not being on. It wasn't the alcohol. It was every other issue that came up on the Recreation Committee that addressed it. It wasn't just solely alcohol. And you have to respect other people's opinion. Thank you.
All right, I want to let the attorney speak on the ILA. Yeah. And I'm just, we're gonna clear this up, we're gonna kind of stick to what's legal, and we're gonna go ahead and take care of the legal part of it. And you know, before we get too far in, let's see what's legal. We're gonna do what's legal and do what's right and keep the pool operating, and that's what we're here for. And I think everybody at this board and in the audience is here for the same thing, because the community is gonna be ready to use this pool this weekend.
Mr. President, all I was going to add is that the commission is not a day-to-day operation of the vehicle. They hire employees to carry out the policies of the commission. The employees carry out the day-to-day operations consistent with those policies. Those would be the overall. I'm not saying that's what you meant, Alderman, but that just making sure everyone understood. Day-to-day operations are not part of the commission. They say, here's policies. The employees implement those policies, much like two boards are supposed to do. Not supposed to get involved in day-to-day stuff. They're supposed to get out and carry on the policies of the overall city and county, and the employees carry those out.
Well, if Supervisor Wilson.
Mayor, y'all have already adopted, voted on this, is that correct?
Well, let me say, we voted on the proposal that's dated April 25th. But since then, we found out that Ms. Sonora Sonora Cole is leaving. So that would require us during our meeting today to officially amend this proposal. But I will go back to what I said at the beginning. If you look at this, I would just basically say that, number one, the city and county together will run the pool. But I would take away supervision by the city's department, director of Parks and Recreation, Sonora Cole.
Well, the other thing I want to point out is Mr. Ryan Porter is sitting right there, by the way. You can raise your
I
hand.
have no idea.
Okay, and
Well, you know, that's fine, you don't have to introduce us.
okay.
I ain't never seen
Well,
it.
that's neither here nor there.
I'm on hold.
Now you do.
All right.
Now, Ms. Cole will be leaving in a week,
Yes.
is that correct? And he's gonna be the interim, not.
Well, the board has
The board has decided.
as I said at the beginning,
We're not trying to fight out here, I'm just trying to
You
clear
trying
up.
to tell me
No, we just,
yeah,
hold on one second. We just trying to keep order. We let them speak one at a time, please. One at a time, and then we'll promise you everybody get a chance to
Mr.
speak.
Supervisor, as I said at the beginning, the board will have to discuss that at our mayor and board of aldermen meetings tomorrow night. We have not had an opportunity to meet since we received the
Okay.
news. and the news became public just a few days ago.
All right, the other thing, I think the county has not followed up real closely with what's going on with the pool. When I asked, Ms. Brandy Lewis, they I said, what about that county? There doesn't seem to be a trail, on the accounting as far as we're taking gate in some events, and I don't know which ones they are, I have no clue. We have a concession stand that appears to make no money. And I don't know where the money goes, I don't know who's doing what, but we're not getting a good report. Somebody's got to start reporting to somebody. And if y'all have a Parks and Recreation director, I hate that Cole's leaving, she really has done a jam up job of doing this stuff. There needs to be more accountability on that end, and it would certainly help if somebody actually had a little bit of, he was talking to the employees once in a while and knew what was going on. So I'm for the city running or having more interaction with the pool.
All right, Mr. Smith,
Thank
Carl Smith.
So,
Carl Smith.
just legally, Mr. County Attorney, when there's a failure to follow formalities with the board, what we've been in, what does that mean legally?
You want to have to make sure all of your expenditures and budgeting and things like that, decisions are made are authorized as they're supposed to be. So you don't want unauthorized expenditures. So I don't think that there's any, malevolent activity by the commissioner that's doing it. I just think that you've got to operate the way that the parameters that these two boards have set.
I like what President Gaines said. Today, our job is to make sure that pool is running with people that are in place that are already doing a good job this weekend. And I would like for us to settle that so that I can speak tonight and know that we're
Yes, but we
gonna
need
take
to.
care of this.
Okay, so the chief
Let me
finished.
say this, but I've been trying to say this for a while.
Go ahead.
But let me say this, when we first started this pool and the wild was over, everything was running pretty smoothly and we had some little bumps. Yeah, we took care of that because they had first started. But it was a different board. And we did have the advisory board, which was doing a great job. We didn't have people falling off the advisory board. We did not have that. People started falling off the advisory board when we got a new administration, when we got others coming on, wanting to micromanage the advisory board, wanted to run the pool themselves. Before that, we didn't have all these problems. We said we didn't even want to deal with the pool issues, and Sarah, and you know this, because we didn't want it to be a part of politics. We didn't want to put ourselves in this and make this political for ourselves. That's what our commissioners are for. They was doing a great job, and yes, some of them have left. Some of them left because they got a job somewhere else. That's why one left from me. Mr. Ware did come in here and told us that we needed to appoint one more commissioner. What did we do? We did nothing. Because you got people that want to micromanage. We don't need to be micromanaging this pool. We don't micromanage our port. We don't micromanage our airport. You got commissioners for each thing that's going on. So why are we sitting up here trying to micromanage a pool? We don't have time for that. We got enough on our plates. I know I do. We don't have time for this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm heard the micromanaging, I just wanna know, I feel like everybody knows but I don't know what we're talking about here. I know we had the alcohol bill was in our code, we have no choice in that matter. But what else, who's doing the micromanaging, what are we talking about? I don't understand.
I don't know.
There been information shared from members, previous commissioners, that they would have remained on the board if they had a public apology because their character had been defamed. They had been micromanaged by other members of the Board of Aldermen. And that's where it comes from. And I don't want to call names, but that's the information that has been shared.
But this is what, I'm afraid to let you speak, then I'm gonna say something.
Well, first of all, let me say this to the board, both boards. I am not against, anything, but I'm like the rest of you, like the board members, I do want the pool to open. And we're sitting up here arguing about, I think, which is just frivolous to me. The board is all about the kids. Like I said, we need, as everybody said, we need to get that pool open this weekend. And like I said, we need to go on, move on, what we're gonna do, we need to go and do it.
And I mean, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna echo that. I understand we done had a lot of problems in the past. And I mean, problems, it's gonna be problems. I don't care if we're gonna have problems going forward. But what is our main focus as leaders of Adams County? Do we get in the public and air out everything, what all the problem is? Yes, some problems we talked about. Our main focus should be opening that pool for the public to use that pool, and we'll be able to deal with that. I think this is my first term in politics, and I mean, it has not been an easy road, but we have got a lot accomplished. And together we can work together to get accomplished, and we work for the people. And my whole goal today is get some stuff in place that we can have that pool operating, and we're gonna get the other thing figured out. That's just how I feel about it. Right.
We have.
Okay. Ms. West,
Is it okay if I say something?
is it okay?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Look, I really came because of my interest. I saw the article in the newspaper, and although Alderman, well, former Alderman and Supervisor Gray gave y'all a brief overview of how all of this took place, he didn't give you as much as I know, okay? And that's because, I wanted to give you some background on this because, you know, it was under the Mayor Middleton that a non-binding resolution was put on the ballot to have a recreation program, city, county, whatever the case may be. After a contract was established with the new casino coming in, which your dad was a member of the board, and I was the mayor, there was a $225,000 annual amount that was supposed to be given for community development from that particular, that was a part of the contract. Your dad won, I lost. When the casino came in, it also called for a advisory committee to oversee where those community development funds should go. Mayor Butch Brown, myself, the late Judge Mary Toles, Duncan McFarland, Tony Heilberg, and David Preston, and David Paradise, and Kevin Preston. Okay, we was a committee who met. Okay, we met with Tate Hartley. He was the chairman of the commission. He had plans for recreation for Adams County. We decided as a group, those 5 of us who met, we were an advisory committee for the money. We decided that we were going to prioritize having a public pool. And we were also going to prioritize having the city and county work together. Because under this other resolution, there was a 3 persons appointed by the city, 3 by the county, and 3 by the school district. We gave the county the land for the pool. I'm talking about the school district did, okay? But in any case, we decided, and David Paradise was the lead person in this, who owns Taco Bell, and I hope you don't mind me exposing this information because it's public information anyway. He was the one who got with the county and the city because they had never worked together before and got them to agree. Scott Slogan was here, I believe, if I remember correctly, and he got the city and county to put up recreation money and to also, when we prioritized this pool, we were going to enclose this pool because our kids, regardless of the way they went to school, they had to go to Vicksburg to participate in swimming. So that's how we got to where we are now. When we got excluded from the interlocal, I don't know. I'm talking about the school district because it was a 9-person commission, okay? And so I'm not here to promote anything, so to speak. I just want you to understand
how we got to where we are as it relates to the pool. Okay? And I'm quite sure, I assume Wes may know from his dad. Okay? Because he was the person who helped organize and initiate the non-binding resolution for recreation, and then the contract with, it wasn't Magnolia Bluffs Casino then, it was actually, we signed a contract with a group of persons, I forgot the company, out of Atlanta, Georgia, when I was mayor. Well, Ricky was on the board, and then somehow Magnolia Bluffs must have bought them out or something like that, and that's how it came to be. But again, and I know I'm being repetitive, in that contract, it said this $225,000 that the casino is gonna be required to give to the city every year should be used for community development. And out of that, you know, our advisory committee, we haven't met, it's been a long time, I don't think we've met anymore. But in any case, since you were mayor, before you were mayor. Now, when Darryl became mayor, we have not met again. But that was our purpose, to prioritize the pool, because the kids in the community, were in a hardship by not learning to swim, and especially even our younger people in school, whether they were going to Natchez High, or Cathedral, or wherever, had to go to Vicksburg, Mississippi, to access a public swimming pool. So I just wanted to give you that background information. I'm not here on one side or the other, but you need to know how we got to where we are, and it wasn't just a happenstance. It was intentional. There were people who worked for it. Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. You know, I seen Mr. Ware had his hand up, then Ms. Hall had her hand up.
Okay.
Few clarification, and I know Ms. Hall said we had met. We met October and November, but we didn't take any action. We didn't take any action because the other two that was on the board that put out the text wanted a public apology, and the mayor did not give them a public apology. They got off the board, and the city know they got off the board. Then the two up, the one in the county that was wanted to do golf, he got off the board because they got off. Derek Baptiste, I'm call his name, he moved out of town. He's now working in Brookhaven. So I come back and told this commission we were short. The city know they were short. We could not meet. When we had a 9-man board, we had 3 from the school that came all the time. John Ward Junkins got off the board because you all took the softball field. He was over the baseball part. So that's how we got met. But we did meet in October and November. But there was no action taken because you micromanaged the people.
We didn't micromanage anything.
All right.
Nobody-
All right, then, all right, Ms. Hall.
I was gonna say, I agree with you and Mr. Attorney that we need to
Yeah,
make a decision now on executive session
yeah,
about opening this pool.
yeah. So, Fish then we need to, the mayor council is already proposed, so we gonna keep it going, and everybody here wanna keep it going. So, what is the pleasure of my board? The proposal was keep everything running well, legally, Scott. Can we keep it going until you, figure out a commission, or do you have to have another ILA or what? He proposed that we're gonna keep the pool running, everything has been done with everybody in place. Is that what you said?
With the exception of the board.
With the exception of the
We don't
board,
really
right
use
now.
advisory board.
Is that legal, Scott? Or do we have to have an advisory board, have to do another ILA? Legally now?
Yes, you have to change your ILA.
Okay,
You got that board.
we got, okay.
So
Yeah.
you're saying, excuse me, the pool cannot open this weekend?
You got all that.
Here today to make sure that it opens this.
That's what we're
Yeah, that's
saying.
what we hear.
That's what we're saying, right?
So on the legal side, Mr. Attorney, I'm gonna ask you, how are we gonna open the pool this weekend?
Well, and
Legally?
how we were gonna do it is, I think Mr. Ware has brought lifeguards down for the board's approval, and we can get approved that way.
We had recertification and certification last weekend. We have 9 lifeguards that are ready to start this Saturday and Sunday. We have 3 office personnel that is ready to be signed. What they did was they just fall into the program that is already in place. We got the lady from the personnel that gonna come over on Saturday. If this school, she gonna come in Saturday and she gonna sign everybody up. She already said she would come in and do it. So, and she's coming from the county.
I would like to suggest this.
Yeah.
I believe before we can, entertain a vote from either the board of supervisors or the mayor and board of aldermen, we need to discuss some personnel matters
Okay.
in executive session.
Okay.
I think it's pertinent to the discussion, and, we, could entertain a motion to go into a, closed determination
Yes.
or executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of financial nature.
This is a joint session.
Okay,
It's gonna be a joint session.
I have just but I can entertain, as mayor of Natchez, I can entertain a motion. And the motion has been made by Alderwoman Smith and seconded by Alderwoman Hall. We'll take, this is on the motion to have a closed determination, for executive session. Is there any discussion on the motion?
So this is a joint session.
Yeah.
They would have to have their motion.
I'm gonna make my motion, and y'all vote.
Is there any discussion on the motion made by Alderwoman Smith? Okay, call for the question. Are there any opposed to the call? In that case, we'll proceed to the vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. I'll now refer to you, Mr.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask a question before y'all do that. I wanted to ask, Scott, so the ILA that we signed, with the school district and so forth and so on, that's no longer in effect, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. The school, city, and county all agreed to amend that ILA.
I just wanted to make sure.
You withdrew yourself out of the,
Right. Okay, I just wanted to
Yes, sir.
make sure that's there for that.
all right, now I need a motion to close
So
determination.
moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
the commission, and its auspices to operate under the interlocal agreement and allow the city and county together to run the pool with the current staff in place. In addition to that, I would like for the motion to include that the city and county work together with personnel to make sure that proper protocols are in place, proper certifications are in place, proper money management systems are in place. And we would look to the city clerk and the county clerk to help us in moving that forward. We would also invite the city recreational staff to assist us as needed in a liaison capacity. And also, I know it's being recorded, but this is the motion. I've been listening. And to just assist as we need to going forward, if we have any personnel matters that need to be brought to the president of the board of supervisors or to the mayor of Natchez, so that together we can convene our boards to have any discussion. The county will continue overseeing as far as the personnel through the county's operations, their salary, the PERS, all of the benefits. None of that would change, and the county will continue paying the bills with the county and city agreeing on the budget, and the city reimbursing the county for the city's portion of those expenses.
I'll move it as stated.
And so the motion has been made by Alderwoman Hall, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Sarah Carter Smith. Any discussion on that motion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Alderman Fraser.
Your motion was so long, it took me almost how long to digest it.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. So, your motion states that we're gonna suspend the commission
For this season.
for this season. Oh, and we're gonna leave the people that's in place,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
that's there now. There's no-
The employees that are there now will remain employed and running the pool.
Okay, so the three people that we came in, they'll remain in place?
The employees will.
Employees.
The employees will remain in place. I think it's been ascertained through our prior discussion, we don't have a functioning commission at the time.
The city, I think you said the city recreation overlooking to see what's going on.
As a liaison.
As a liaison, but not as a supervisor.
Not-
So who will be that person?
Whoever we hire as the director of Parks and Recreation, the interim to do that. But their only job is to maintain good communication with the president of the board of supervisors and the mayor of Natchez, should any personnel matters need to be addressed.
I don't think that was discussed.
It's in the motion, and we're having discussion right now. Alderwoman Irvin.
Mr. Mayor, I do agree. I think, as I stated earlier, I am wholeheartedly all for community members volunteering and want to be a part of the board. For us to remove people who have had several years on the board, who all three people we called in expressed how much they enjoy and love being supportive of that pool. And those are the kinds of people that we need in place. You've mentioned about check and balance system. There has been one in place. And we keep repeating, we go through a repeated cycle with this over and over again about putting people in place, about putting people, executing time clock, everything that you said. This is repetitious. And it never gets any better.
I'm just putting in the form of a motion.
And I do understand, and I'm just recalling that information until that we set ourselves up and every year we come back to this same position that we're in with recreation and the pool. I know the whole objective is to make change, but let's do change for the betterment of the community. And that's including people who have been there who have made substantial change, and all those things that you mentioned in that motion, they have adhered to. But we, as a board, well, it seems that when we want personal change in employees, then that's when it stands out, not because it warrants it. And I think when you have people that volunteer, that means something. That says that they're volunteering their time and everything that comes with it.
Yes.
So
And
I
on
don't agree.
wording, that's why my motion is to suspend the commission only for this season, because
You never know that.
practically we can't appoint a new commission between now and Saturday, and the pool has to open and operate Saturday.
That's not what we
And
discussed.
so I see this as the only way forward for this season.
Mr. Mayor, let me say this for the record, please record it. That if we suspend this commission, if I vote to suspend this will never happen again. We will have another plan in place. Now, because I already see the direction that we're going. I already see the direction that we're going, and it's a repeated cycle over and over again.
It would have to be voted in the future whether then to remove the suspension. But we can't see into the future, and we can't make those decisions today. Right now, we just need to get the pool open Saturday. We don't have a
We're gonna get the
commission
pool open,
that's
Mayor.
functioning. And so this allows us to get the pool up and running with the current employees that are in place, and as we've ascertained, are doing a good job.
Mr. Mayor, let me say this, those employees are in place. Just keep this in mind. They were trained by the person that you no longer want to be there. They were trained by that person the commission that you no longer want them to be there.
We don't have a functioning commission at the time, but I have made no comment on any particular individual.
Okay.
I think I'll call for the question.
Oh,
The question's been called.
We still have discussion.
Further discussion.
They
Is there anyone who wishes to continue the discussion? In that case, as has been our policy, we have to have a vote on whether or not to close the question. Because if a majority of the voting members wish to end discussion, we're going to move
No, Mr.
forward.
Mayor, the discussion is still open.
We
That's
have,
not true.
we have had, as,
I'm still talking, I'm still
but
talking.
in, yes,
And I have the right to speak.
in our prior meetings,
The Alderman has the right to discuss.
I have the right to speak, Mr. Mayor.
well,
And I'm not finished.
we'll allow one more discussion, and then we're going to entertain our motion, to close.
I'm not trying to be combative or anything here, but like I say, this wasn't what we discussed, Mr. Mayor. You brought the motion on the board, and we discussed whereby we were gonna leave everything in place, but not replace the commission, not right now. You gonna replace, we have one
I just
commission.
said suspend the commission for this season, that's what this motion says,
No,
so that we can open the pool.
That's what you're saying.
That's what the motion says. All right,
Let's move on to the.
all right, the question has been called, any opposed to the call? In that case, we'll move on to a vote. Alderwoman Hall, Alderwoman Irving,
Nay.
Alderwoman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Frazier,
Nay.
Alderman Davis. The ayes have it, motion carries. We'll defer now to you, Mr. President.
Right, on what's the desire of the board?
What is the motion?
Yeah, I mean,
Motion,
The motion,
Did you go-
the all aldermen just voted on.
Mr. President, the motion,
good.
the motion I have is to suspend the commission for this season and allow the current commission employees to remain employed and remain pool with the city's recreation director, whomever that may be, will stay on as a liaison for both the county and city governing boards. That is the motion that I had written down.
Any discussion?
No, we haven't even made the motion. So moved.
I mean, yeah, so that's the same desire of the board, that's the same motion, it's been moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? Discussion. So, Like I said,
So let me ask you a question. So what I'm hearing is to open the pool up for Memorial Day weekend, since we don't have but one commission, we're not gonna just ban it, we just not gonna have them this year.
This
It's
season.
pool year,
This season.
it's pool year.
Yes.
And after this pool year, then we go back to reappointing commissioners. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, as I said, you know, that's determined by a future vote and decision, but for right now, the motion that we just passed is to suspend for this season. And then we can regroup and have another discussion after this season, certainly.
So, I like, anything I do, I like to make it plain and clear where a baby can understand.
Yes.
So when you say this season, that means one season, is I'm not correct?
The swimming season. which
The
ends-
swimming
When does the
season,
pool
so-
close?
So after the swimming season, that means we go back to the way we was. That's my understanding.
You're technically.
That is correct.
Oh, no.
Technically, look at the words now, look at the words technically right.
No, I know I'm right.
Okay.
That's the reason I broke it down where everybody in here can understand it. When you say, for one season, that means for one swimming season.
Then we'll come back.
Then when one swimming season over, to my understanding, we gonna end up having to appoint more commissioners. Is that not true?
My understanding is to revisit.
So we-
Oh,
That's what he said,
no.
revisit. No,
Mr.
that's a
President.
difference.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Attorney, help us out. So if my understanding is wrong, make it plain and clear where everybody here can understand, including me. My understanding is, when you put in there suspended for one season, what does that mean?
I have written down suspend the commission for one season, so if no other action happened, the commission would come back.
That's what I thought.
And either board could file suit requesting or demanding the other board to do its job, appoint the commissioners.
But I do wanna just say
That is my interpretation of what
I
I said. Now,
can't,
there was also stuff talking about, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, there's always stuff, there was talk about revisiting this, that, or the other. But the motion that I have supported is
Yeah.
suspension, which means what? If nothing is done, it comes, now that it's over, if nothing gets done, it comes back. So if the boards can amend their contracts, but if they don't, the suspension, it stops and it comes back on.
but I do want to say this. We have not, because I want all cards on the table, just like you, Supervisor. I don't want to mislead anyone. Today, we have not been able to get a vote to reappoint members to that commission. So after this full season, I can't guarantee that my alderman will vote a motion to reappoint. But certainly, we will revisit that after the season. Right now, I just want to get the pool up. Right now, I just want to get the pool up.
I'm gonna say this, Mr. President.
Uh,
Let me say this.
Go ahead, Mr.
Let me
President.
say this, I'm going by the motion that our attorney made, and when I get suspended for a total school year, that means I'm not suspended forever from school. And next year I can come back to school. So the motion that was put on the floor was to suspend it until one year until the swimming season is over. That means once the season over with, it automatically go back to what it was. That's my
One second.
interpretation of what happened.
Let
Is that y'all?
Well, yeah, come and say, we in our discussion, hold on one second, this is our, we got motion on.
I'm asking, this board interpretation of what the.
We got suspended for a season, which means October, they said the pool closes in October, and then we're going to look into it again. See how it ran. See how it ran over that period of time. And if that worked, we're better, where it's less of a headache on us. That's what we're looking for.
Mr. Attorney, is
What?
that interpretation right of what? We don't go by what you said.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Help us out.
What I have written down is suspension, as you talked about, meaning that it is no action is taken. Y'all do this one action, and nothing else happens. The commission will come back alive. So it would take another action to get rid of the commission. It will not come, now, if y'all revisit it, that is certainly within your prerogative, your jurisdiction. But if you don't revisit it, the commission comes back and y'all need to make it.
I got you, but now discussion, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go, we're gonna vote, because I was kind of under the impression that we had everybody, I thought we was gonna try to work everything out and everybody stays in place and work without, you know what I'm saying, because everybody had pushed hard for the move forward. I think it was a joint effort, it was serious, it was hard work on everybody's behalf to make the pool operate. And so I thought we was gonna try to put aside differences and make things work, but and that's what my interpretation was, and so I don't know where we at that.
That's what mine.
In discussion.
That's all.
But, anyway, I'm gonna let you call, and then we'll call for the vote.
Okay, I agree with you, President Gaines. I can't see how we can move forward without somebody there that know everything about the pool. We move forward, we may be lost, we get in here, we deal with all these kids and everything, and we don't have a commissioner, even though he can kind of oversee a little something. It ain't his job to oversee that, but he can see what's going on. He hired these people, he trained these people, he had a vision for this pool. This pool has operated greatly. He set all these activities in motion. I don't think there's enough experience there yet to just knock the commission out of it. Because they do have to refer back to someone who has that experience. So I cannot go with that.
Well, all right, well, you said then we'll call.
I just want to say, Mr. Ware, I'm pretty sure still, his heart is in his pool, it's been in his pool since it started. I don't think he's just gonna disappear into thin air. I'm pretty sure he still wants to know what's going on with that pool. Y'all talk about him like he's not here, he's sitting right back there. But the man loves the pool, and all we're trying to do is, we don't have commissioners, we don't have time to elect or find commissioners right now. We want the pool open this weekend, and that's what we're trying to accomplish here. And if we go.
So why we have to just give it to the board? Even though we don't have it, they can still be there.
We don't have anybody in control. There's nobody reporting back to us. So, because we only have one board member. It's non-functioning, and it has been non-functioning for almost a year. So,
All right. How you vote, Supervisor Grady?
What do you mean?
We can't try it.
I vote yay.
How you vote?
Like,
Yeah.
How you vote?
yeah.
I vote nay. 3-2, motion passed.
At this time, being that that's all we had on our agenda for our special call, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Alderwoman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Any discussion on the motion? Call for the question, any opposed to the call? Well, then proceed with the vote. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you so much. And we look forward to working together.
Still working, yeah.
And we're looking forward to a good summer.
Hey, whole folder full of the lifeguard that we got to say, do we have a folder?
They said they're gonna do that Saturday. We're talking about that.
so my thing is,
But we have to approve the hire. No, we have to approve the hiring of the lifeguard.
The young lady has the information. She does. She has it.
She on the paper?
She has the information.